Good morning, hello, and welcome to This Date in History, aka TDH. This show is all about the events that happened. This show is about what happened today throughout the annals of recorded history. Sorry, I still have the old intro memorized. Join us as we delve into yesteryear, not only for interesting and important happenings, but to possibly even answer questions you don't know you have. The sources of this information come from the smart device application Today in History, What Happened Today in History, Historical Calendar, and the website onthisday.com. For links to these sources and anything else potentially interesting, including but not limited to all things Omni Coalition, please check the underbar of the description below. Anyway, I am Aoxander, and you are you. Today is Tears' Day, aka Tuesday, October 3rd, 2023. So let's jump into today's history, shall we? And I, for some reason, scrolled way down here. Oh yeah, I was trying to figure out a title. Anyway, starting us off in 2333 BC, that is over 4,000 years ago, state of Gojuzan, modern-day Korea, founded by Dangan Wanggeom during the reign of the Chinese Emperor Yao. Huh. Then we do a pretty significant time jump up to 52 BC. Vercingetorix, leader of the Gauls, surrendered to the Romans under Julius Caesar, ending the siege and the Battle of Alesia. 42 BC, First Battle of Philippi. Triumvirs Mark Antony and Octavian fought in an indecisive battle with Caesar's assassins Brutus and Cassius. I think this is after Caesar was assassinated. Moving on up to 382, but we're still talking about Rome. Roman Emperor Theodosius made a treaty with the Visigoths, granting them lands between the lower Danube and the Balkans in return for military service. Alright. That sounds like decent trade. 1264, comet said to predict death of Pope Urban IV was last seen. Okay. So I guess it did its job and now it's gone forever. Maybe it flew into a star or something, I don't know. 1272, Beauvais Cathedral in France was completed, choir and transept, designed to be the largest French Gothic cathedral ever built. Oh, well, let's see. Let's take a look at this Beauvais Cathedral. Beauvais Cathedral in France. Oh, wow. Whoa, that is really... Man, that is gorgeous. Whew, I'd like to go visit that. God, that looks like something straight out of 40K, man. But I know 40K takes inspiration off of things like this. Man. Anyway, 1283, Dafydd ap Gruffudd, Prince of Gwynedd, Wales, became the first person executed by being hanged, drawn, and quartered. So not just hung by the neck until death, but drawn, drawn and quartered work together. That's when they tie each of your wrists and ankles to separate horses and have them go off in separate directions, and you just rip apart. It's gruesome. 1430, Jews were expelled from Edgar, Bohemia. Okay. 1605, Chinese uprising on the Philippines, Tondo Quiapo massacre. How many people died in that massacre? Let's take a look here. Sangli Rebellion, Chinese uprising on history, but that's the exact article I was just reading. What was the massacre of Chinese 1603? Over 20,000 Chinese died in this first of several massacres at the hands of Spanish soldiers, Tagalog, and Pampao volunteers. Huh. Okay. European involvement. 1683, the Qing Dynasty naval commander Shi Lang reached Taiwan under the Kingdom of Tungning to receive the formal surrender of Zhang Keisheng and Liu Guoxan after the Battle of Pinghu. 1739, the Treaty of Nissa was signed by the Ottoman Empire and Russia at the end of the Russian-Turkish War between 1736 to 1739. So a 3-year war. 1778, Captain James Cook anchored at Alaska. Of course, he's a famous explorer. 1 year later, Washington proclaimed First National Thanksgiving Day on November 26. Oh, yeah, that's right. So Thanksgiving is coming up. I got to go to Stater's and order one of those meals. What else do we got here? 1793, a warrant was issued for the arrest of French mathematician and philosopher Marquis de Concert, forcing him into hiding. 1835, Stadler Company was founded by J.S. Stadler in Nuremberg, Germany. All right. And Edgar Allan Poe, may you rest in peace. 1849, U.S. author Edgar Allan Poe was found delirious in a gutter in Baltimore, Maryland, under mysterious circumstances. This was the last time he is seen in public before his death. So, whatever caused him to end up in the gutter, literally, like, that is awful for someone like him. Such a great writer. 1863, U.S. President Abraham Lincoln designated that last Thursday in November as Thanksgiving Day. And I believe that still stands, because it's always still the last Thursday. 1872, Bloomingdale's department store in New York opened. 1873, Modoc tribe chief Knit-Puash, also known as Captain Jack, the only Native American leader ever charged with war crimes, was hanged by the U.S. Army at Fort Calumet, Oregon. 1888, explorer Fridtjof Nansen and his team completed the first known crossing of Greenland interior, arriving in Godthab. Cool. While that was going on, New Zealand natives, a privately organized and mainly Maori rugby team, played its first game in the United Kingdom, defeating Surrey 4-1, the first national rugby team to wear all black and perform the haka. Is that anything like the Macarena? 1899, J.S. Thurman patented the motor-driven vacuum cleaner. All right. 1904, France and Spain signed treaty for Morocco independence. Hell yeah. While that was happening, New York Giants pitcher Christy Mathewson struck out 16 Cardinals in a 3-1 Giants victory over St. Louis. This was a new MLB record. Finished the game in 1 hour 15 minutes. Woo! Wanted to just get that, pancake over with. 1908, Pravda newspaper was founded by Leon Trotsky, Adolf Jolf, Matvey Skobelev, and other Russian exiles in Vienna. Yeah. 1913, U.S. federal income tax was signed into law at 1% by President Woodrow Wilson. Well, this country just does taxation without representation. We have become all we have fought against. 1915, a 7.8 earthquake shook Pleasant Valley in Nevada. So not so pleasant after all. Isn't there like another city in Nevada, or is it like Arizona? I think it was Arizona. Perfection, like where the Tremors movie is at. I think it's Arizona. It's either Nevada, Arizona, or New Mexico. It's one of those three. Watch, it's gonna be friggin' like Mississippi. No, it's not that. 1918, brothers Edgar and Archibald Selwyn opened Selwyn Theater at 229 West 42nd Street in Times Square in New York City. This is now known as the American Airlines Theater. Alright, so it's been going on for over 100 years. Nice. 1918 as well, Tsar Ferdinand I of Bulgaria abdicated the throne in favor of his eldest son, Tsar Boris III. 1 year later, 1919, Cuban Dolph Luke became the first Hispanic player to appear in Baseball World Series. Pitched one inning of relief in Cincinnati Reds' 3-0 defeat over the Chicago White Sox, or defeat to the Chicago White Sox, at Karlovsky Park. 1919 as well, Serbian, Croatian, and Slavonic Parliament passed an accord for an 8-hour workday. We're going to be talking about the formation of Czechoslovakia here, I believe, in a couple articles. 1920, U.S. Pro Football Association, later becoming the NFL, played the first full round of games. Dayton Triangles defeated Columbus Panhandles 14-0 in first official game at Triangle Park in Dayton. Sorry, my mouth is really, really dry. Blah, blah, blah. I need some water. You know what? Give me a second. I'm going to drink some water. So that way my voice doesn't suddenly start cracking in the middle of a sentence like it has before in the past. Sorry about that. You gotta stay hydrated. What else do we got here? 1922, first facsimile photo sent over city telephone lines, Washington, D.C. And that is a fax machine, facsimile. Facsimile photo. Let's look that up. I believe that is the fax machine, or at least the fax machine was used to do that. Well, there you go. You have a fax machine right there. So, yeah. 1922, Governor of Georgia named progressive writer Rebecca Felton at the age of 87 to fill an expired term in U.S. Senate. She became the first woman in Congress, oldest person at the time. That's kind of concerning at the time, which means that there's people older than that. Well, there are. And shortest term, as she served only 24 hours in November, Governor Hardwick becomes first woman in Senate. Okay. 1926, first Congress of Pan-European Movement, Pan-Europees Bewegung, opened in Vienna. 26 as well, English long-distance runner Violet Piercy set first recognized female marathon record in 3 hours, 40 minutes, 22 seconds on the Polytechnic Marathon course between Windsor and London. Cool. 3 years later, in 1929, British Labour government recovered diplomatic relations with the USSR. While that was happening, Kingdom of Serbs, Croats, and Slovenes changed their name to Yugoslavia. So it wasn't Czechoslovakia, it was Yugoslavia, one of the Slavias. 1932, Iraq gained full independence from Britain and joined the League of Nations. Interesting. I did not know that. And you know what? I'm going to give them the... it's only fair. Like, I can't not give them the cheer just because they're Iraq and we've had beef in the past. I got to be nice. In 1935, Italy invaded Ethiopia, starting the Second Italo-Ethiopian War. Well, they weren't nice. 1940, Cincinnati Reds win Game 2 of the Baseball World Series 5-2 versus the Detroit Tigers at Crosley Field. Snap 10-game losing streak for National League going back to Game 10. In 1937, Reds win Series 4-3. Now, here's a question for you. A lot of people can snap with one hand, but can you snap with your other? So, that's... yeah, I'm obviously weaker in the left. 1940, France Vichy government proclaimed end to Jewish statutes. That's not cool. So, they were a puppet government. 1940 as well, U.S. formed parachute troops. So this is the end of the formation of the 101st, the 82nd Airborne, all that stuff. Yeah, like paratrooping was a really pioneering thing. 1941, The Maltese Falcon, directed by John Hudson and based on Dashiell Hammett's 1929 novel of the same name, starring Humphrey Bogart and Mary Astor, premiered in New York City. All right. We also have Adolf Hitler said Russia is, quote, already broken and will never rise again, end quote, in a broadcast to the German people. He was extremely wrong. In 1941 as well, all elderly Jewish men of Kirinshan, Ukraine were killed by SS. Oh, man. Dude, like, I wonder if that guy that Trudeau and his cabinet honored was part of this event, too. You know? 1941, I would never, like, imagine in 1,000 years that that would have happened, that I'd be asking a question in that manner. Like, this world really is just gone beyond my understanding of crazy. 1941, Nazis blew up 6 synagogues in Paris. 1942, FDR... Sorry, something flew in my eye. Literally, like a bug just flew directly into my eye. Hold on a second. Okay. 1942, FDR formed Office of Economic Stabilization. Okay. 1942 as well, New York Yankees shortstop Frank Crosetti shoved umpire Bill Summers in Game 3 of the Baseball World Series. He was fined $250 and suspended for the first 30 days of the 1943 season. Yeah, you don't assault the umpire. That's really dumb. 1942, Triple Crown winner Whirl Away, ridden by George Wolfe, wins the Jockey Club Gold Cup at Belmont Park to become the first thoroughbred to amass more than $500,000 in lifetime earnings. Wow. That's a lot of money. By today's standards, back then it was even more. 1 year later, operations began at Pita, Java, defending Japanese fatherland. Is this the borderline terrorist organization PETA, the pro-animal ones? Like, I don't know. Let's do a surface level scratch on this, actually. We have the time, so let's look at this. Defenders of the Homeland. Okay, well. Oh, Pambella Tana Air PETA. Okay, I see. So, for further reading on this, oh, we finally got our first collected link for today. Awesome. For further reading on this, please refer to the underbar of the description below. This link that I just collected and all future links to be collected will be down there post-livestream, as usual. Let's see here. Moving on up to 1945. Elvis Presley's first public performance at the age of 10, singing Old Shep in Youth Talent Contest at the Mississippi-Alabama Fair and Dairy Show in Tupelo, Mississippi. The contest was broadcast over WELO radio. He won 5th prize, $5 in fare tickets. Huh. All right. 1945 as well, World Federation of Trade Unions forms, CIO a member, whoever CIO is. 2 years later, we have the first telescope lens of 200 inches or 508 centimeters in diameter was completed. Okay. You know what? Hold on a second. 200 divided by 12. 16 feet. Okay. What else do we have here? Columbia University in 1948 reported the discovery of uranium in the Belgian Congo. Sounds like they need some freedom. 1949, Word, the first black-owned radio station, opened in Atlanta. I mean, the stereotypes and jokes write themselves, you know? 1950 as well, Ethel Waters became the first black lead actress on TV sitcom Beulah. Alright. Philadelphia Phillies chose not to request MLB rule on eligibility of star left-hander Curt Simmons to play in World Series despite being on furlough from Army. Phillies swept 4-0 by New York Yankees. All right. Yeah, no, he was active duty, so he couldn't go play games. Yeah. 1951, CBS TV aired the first coast-to-coast telecast of a prize fight. Australian light heavyweight Dave Sands outpoints U.S. citizen Carl Bobo Olson in 10 rounds at Chicago Stadium, mate. 1951 as well, shot heard round the world. Bobby Thompson hit 3-run homer off Ralph Branca of the Brooklyn Dodgers. Bottom 9th inning, 1 out to give New York Giants dramatic 5-4 playoff win and National League pennant at the Polo Grounds. Hell yeah. Right here. 1952, the first British nuclear test during Operation Hurricane at Montebello Island, Australia, UK, become the world's third nuclear nation. Welcome to the club, pal. 1952 as well, the first video recording on magnetic tape in Los Angeles, California. Alright. 1953, New York Yankees legendary center fielder Mickey Mantle hit a grand slam off Russ Meyer. Bronx Bombers held on to win 11-7 versus Brooklyn Dodgers in Game 5 of Baseball World Series. New York won series 4-2. We also have 1955, Mickey Mouse Club premiered. Yeah, Disney. 1957, Allen Ginsberg's Howl and Other Poems was ruled not obscene. Okay. He looks like a college professor or something. Like, he looks like a character straight out of Animal House. 1960, San Francisco's White House department store was the first to accept Bank Americard. 1960 as well, U.S. sitcom The Andy Griffith Show premiered on CBS, ran until 1968. That's pretty good. 1961, The Dick Van Dyke Show, created by Carl Reiner, starring Dick Van Dyke and Mary Tyler Moore, premiered on CBS TV. All right. Yeah, Andy Griffith, Dick Van Dyke, and same network. So that's a little weird. We were talking about The Twilight Zone and Alfred Hitchcock being on the same network yesterday. The Loon pointed that out, and now I see it happening again. That's weird, and that happened 1 year apart. Same exact date. 1963, Hurricane Flora hit Haiti, killing about 5,000 people and injuring another 100,000. Dang. 1965, Whitey Ford notches win number 232 in season-ending 11-5 victory versus the Boston Red Sox, became Yankees' winningest pitcher. So yeah, winningest. That's a word, you'd think a 2-year-old would make up, but that is actually a word that has a definition. 1967, Belgian King Bodin inaugurated world's biggest floodgate in Antwerp. Cool. 1967 as well, William J. Pete Knight set highest speed highest speed ever recorded by a crude-powered aircraft flying USAF and NASA's X-15 at 7,297 kilometers per hour or 4,534 miles per hour, Mach 6.2. That's almost a mile a second. Wait, hold on. No, I don't know anymore. What? My math went no. Is that no? Wait, I can't. My brain's not working. I don't know what it's doing. 1968, the proposed civil rights march in Derry, Northern Ireland, was banned from the area of the city center and the waterside area. The banning order was issued under the Public Order Act by William Craig, then Home Affairs Matter. Okay. 1970, the first umpire strike in MLB history lasted 1 day during League Championship Series. American League and National League presidents recognized newly formed MLB Umpires Association, negotiated labor contract. They unionized. Cool. 1971, U.S. tennis star Billie Jean King became the first female athlete to win $100,000 in prize money in a single year. Won the $4,000 Virginia Slam tournament in Phoenix, Arizona. I'm trying to find it. Oh, here you are. All right. 1971 as well, U.S. Formula One Grand Prix at Watkins Glen, New York. French driver Francois Covert won the race. His Tyrrell Ford teammate Scotsman Jackie Stewart finished to claim his second Formula One World Drivers' Championship by 29 points over Swede Ronnie Peterson. I mean, he even looks like a racer. Like, woo! Like, 1972, future Baseball Hall of Fame left-handed pitcher Steve Carlton won 27th game as Philadelphia defeated Cubs 11-1 at Wrigley Field, almost half Phillies' 59 season wins. Wow. 11-1. I mean, at least they got 1 point in, but, like, yeah. That's basically 10-0. 1972, Rorik Harrison homers as Baltimore defeated Cleveland 4-3. Last American League pitcher to homer until MLB Interleague play 25 years later. Whoa. Okay. We also have Space Flight 71-2 launch, first flexible substrate photovoltaic flown. I believe that is collapsible solar panels. So let's double check on that here really quick. You know what? Hold on a second. I don't need flown. Okay, yeah, so like paper solar panels. Malleable, like solar. Okay. You know what? What is a flexible substrate in solar panels? So there you go. So let me add this here as a link for future reading, just to get that started. We also have in 1974, 39-year-old Frank Robinson became MLB's first black U.S. manager when he signed as player manager for the Cleveland Indians, agreed to a 1-year contract estimated at $180,000. Nice. 1974, Ted Bundy victim Nancy Wilcox disappeared in Salt Lake City, Utah. That's unfortunate. 74 as well, Watergate criminal trial began for 5 advisors in aides of President Nixon. 77, Indira Gandhi was arrested. This lady. 78, gold hit a record $223.50 an ounce in London. And I really wish the loon was here, because he would probably be laughing about that. That is cheap today. Well, I mean, like, you know, yeah, it would be. Even in, like, inflation rate and all that stuff, like, yeah. 1981, after a year's inactivity, U.S. boxer Mike Weaver outpointed countryman James Quick Tillis in 15 rounds in Chicago to retain his WBA heavyweight title. He does not look like a man I'd like to fight. No, not frightening. 1981, Irish nationalists at Maze Prison near Belfast ended 7-month hunger strike. And speaking of hunger strike, like, I might actually, you know what? No, I'm going to power through the rest of the show. I'm starving, but I got to get this done. 1983, Parlophone released Paul McCartney and Michael Jackson's duet single Say 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 from Paul's Pipes of Peace album in the UK. And a little bit of tidbit of information involving the Beatles that I did not know, but the last song that all 4 of them will be in is coming up this year. They had started back in like 71 or whatever, and my friend Creek Alley knows more about this. He's a huge Beatles nut. But like the last song that they all worked together on is being released. None of it really is AI because after, like, apparently after something, like, one of the members who is now dead added some more guitar tracks to it or whatever. So, we're still getting new Beatles shit in 2023. Like, that's wild, man. That's just wild. So, anyway. Hopefully we can have him on the show to talk a little bit more about that. We got to move on up here. 1984, U.S. Government shut down due to lack of agreement over passage of bills. 1985, the Falkland Islands, Islas Malvinas, adopted the Constitution. All right. 1985 as well, Pope John Paul II beautified Titus Brasama. Cool. We also have South Georgia and South Sandwich Islands adopted Constitution. A sandwich. 1985 as well, Walter Pavlicek became a free man upon turning 18. I want to look at that. By the way, the Sandwich Islands is the former name to what we now know as Hawaii. Oh, Soviet boy to be a free man. Cool. All right, so I'm gonna have a link to this article here. I know it's New York Times. Take that with a grain of salt, but still. 86. Baltimore lost 6-3 in Detroit to the Detroit Tigers, assuring Orioles of club's first ever last place finish in American League East standings. We also have TASCC, a superconducting cyclotron at the Chalk River Laboratories was officially opened. 1989, Daryl Sittler, Vladislav Tretiak, and Herbie Lewis were inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame as players, along with builders Allan Eagleson and Father David Bauer. Okay, Father David Bauer? Like, okay, I guess he was a priest? I don't know. 1989 as well, Oakland Raiders promoted 42-year-old Art Shell as the first black U.S. citizen to be an NFL head coach in modern times. Took over from Mike Shanahan. So in modern times, does that mean that there is a black NFL coach before modern times? But NFL is still a relatively young organization. 1990, Florida record state owner Charles Freeman was found guilty of obscenity for selling 2 live crew records. That's not cool. Whatever happened to freedoms? We also have Kansas City third baseman George Brett became the first in MLB history to win a batting title in 3 different decades. Went 1-for-1 in Royals, 5-2 loss versus Cleveland to win American League title with .329 average, American League batting champion 1976 and 80. We also have reunification of West and East Germany. West German flag is raised above the Brandenburg Gate on the stroke of midnight. Big deal, like big news. This is a big news, like the reunification of Germany. 1993, battle at the TV station. 1992, Irish pop singer Sinead O'Connor rips up a picture of Pope John Paul II on Saturday Night Live, and yeah, I'm not surprised this would do something like that. Enemy of the church. 1993, battle at TV station Otasinko, Moscow Town Hall. About 25 were killed. We also had Battle of Mogadishu in an attempt to capture officials of warlord Mohammed Farah Adid's organization in Mogadishu, Somalia. 18 U.S. Army Rangers and about 1,000 Somalis were killed in heavy fighting. Yikes. 1993, Boris Yeltsin declared state of emergency in Moscow. 93 as well, Cleveland Indians played their final MLB game at Cleveland Stadium, lost 4-0 to the Chicago White Sox in Chicago. Alright. What else do we got? Cleveland, Ohio. Chicago is Chicago White Sox, Chicago. That has to be a miss. Yeah. 1994, Gary Larson announced he is retiring from doing the Far Side cartoon. I remember that. That was really sad. I love those cartoons. 1995, the first first class match at Hertzville Oval, Sydney, New South Wales versus Western Australia. All right. Oh, I got to catch up here. We also have former NFL running back, broadcaster, and actor O.J. Simpson found not guilty of the murder of Nicole Simpson and Ron Goldman in Los Angeles, California. And he very much was guilty, 100%. In a huge 3-way hockey trade, Claude Lemieux went to Colorado Avalanche, Steve Thomas to the New Jersey Devils, and Wendell Clark to the New York Islanders in a swap of high-profile NHL forwards. All right. Thunderdome in Tampa Bay renamed Tropicana Field on this date in 1996. And in 1997, the first NHL game outside of North America, Vancouver Canucks defeated the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim 3-2 in Tokyo, Japan. Oh man, they defeated the Ducks. 1997, Gordie Howe, at the age of 69, took a shift with IHL's Detroit Vipers, marking his 6th decade playing professional hockey. Wow. Gordie Howe. Man, where is that? 1997. Do you have a picture? No, you don't. Yeah. 1997 as well, NHL Carolina Hurricanes lost in their first home game, 4-3 versus Pittsburgh Penguins at the Greensboro Coliseum in Greensboro, North Carolina. 1998, Farm Aid 11 held in Tinley Park, Illinois. Performers included Willie Nelson, Neil Young, John Mellencamp, Fish, Steve Earle, Wilco, and Del McCurrymand. Yep. 1999, Chelsea scores massive upset when they humble English Premiership champions Manchester United 5-0 at Stamford Bridge. Gus Poyet set the tone, scoring after just 27 seconds. Nicky Butt was sent off for United. Wow. So they just wrecked Manchester. Whew. That must have been an upset. Yeah, massive upset. I'm pretty sure people probably died in the ensuing riot. In the year 2000, Warner Brothers Records released You're the One, the 10th studio album by singer-songwriter Paul Simon. Grammy nomination for Album of the Year made Simon the first artist nominated in category in 5 consecutive decades, from 1960s through the 2000s. Impressive. 2001, after a 21-season career, Paul Coufy officially retired from the National Hockey League, having won 4 Stanley Cups with the Edmonton Oilers, finishing second on all-time list for points by defensemen, 1,531 in 1,409 games, and playing 14 All-Star games. Hell yeah. And the San Diego outfielder Ricky Henderson scored a run in the 3rd inning of the Padres' 12-5 loss to the LA Dodgers to tie the MLB record of 2,245 runs scored, held by the legendary Ty Cobb. Hell yeah, Ricky Henderson. Hell yeah. 2003, Roy Horn of Siegfried and Roy was attacked by one of the show's tigers, canceling the show for good. I'm pretty sure they tried to bring it back for like a minute, or they were talking about it, but yeah. And apparently now there's a Siegfried and Roy Avenue or something in Vegas. Oh. 2004, final game in Montreal Expos team history was played in New York City against the Mets at Shea Stadium, an 8-1 defeat. Jamie Carroll scored the final Expos run, and Indy Chavez is the last Expos batter. We also have the TV series Desperate Housewives starring Terry Hatcher and an ensemble cast premiered in the U.S. on ABC. Moving on up to 2006, U.S. drama series Friday Night Lights starring Kyle Chandler and Connie Britton premiered on NBC TV. 2008, former NFL star O.J. Simpson found guilty of charges of kidnapping and armed robbery. He just can't stop doing crimes, can he? We also have the $700 billion bailout bill for the U.S. financial system was signed by President George W. Bush. Gee, thanks for further devaluing our economy. 2013, Chinese President Xi Jinping, aka Winnie the Pooh, announced plans for a 21st century maritime Silk Road, the Belt and Road Initiative. Oh yeah, it's going to come up here. Linking China to Southeast Asia and the Mediterranean, Belt and Road Initiative, One Belt, One Road, while in Indonesia. And that is terrifying. 2014, 83 million accounts were compromised after a cyber attack on JP Morgan Chase and 9 other financial institutions. And I believe by then, hold on a second, when did WAMU die? 2008. So yeah, by then I was well gone. So yeah, I was a member of Washington Mutual. And then they got eaten by Chase, and then Chase started taking my money illegally. So I just went to a new bank. 2014 as well, blues guitarist and singer B.B. King's last live performance at the House of Blues in Chicago, Illinois. Oh man. 2015, host nation England crashed out of Rugby World Cup in pool stage, lost to Australia 33-13 at Twickenham. Bernard Foley scored 2 tries and kicks 4 penalties and 3 conversions for the Wallabies. Cricket. We also have a U.S. airstrike hit the Doctors Without Borders Hospital in Kunduz, Afghanistan, killing around 19. Yeah, that was not an accident. 2016, Yoshinori Oshumi from Japan won Nobel Prize for Medicine for research into audiopathy. Audiopathy? What is that? Let's look that up here really quick. Your body's process of reusing old and damaged cell parts. Huh. Alright. So I'm going to put these 2 links here in the underbar of the description post-show. Whoops. Here we go. Get rid of that. What else do we have? 2017, Nobel Prize for Physics awarded to Rainer Weiss, Barry C. Barish, Kip S. Thorne for decisive contributions to the LIGO detector and the observation of gravitational waves. Alright. We also have 2017, U.S. President Donald Trump visited Puerto Rico after it was devastated by Hurricane Maria. And I remember that was when he, like, Kobe to freaking roll the paper towels into the crowd. Like, you know, that's very, very uncool there, Trump, bro. Like, not cool, man. 259 people in 2018 have died taking selfies since 2011, according to a study in Journal of Family Medicine and Primary Care. Natural selection, let it happen. Thin the herd. You want to you want to flatten the curve? Get rid of the stupid people. Let them kill themselves off. We gotta stop putting in laws and regulations and everything protecting these people. They need to go. Let's see here. What else do we got? 2018, cervical cancer could be eliminated in Australia within decades because of government vaccination program, according to a report in the Lancet Public Health. We also have the first exomoon, a moon outside of the solar system, discovered 8,000 years away, size of Neptune by astronomers at Columbia University. All right, so we found a moon, outside of the solar system. We also have the most expensive whiskey ever sold at auction for $1.1 million, the Macallan Valerio Adami, 1926, in Edinburgh, Scotland. Must love your whiskey. Of course, Scottish, Between Scottish and Irish, who drinks more, 2018, wife of former Malaysian Prime Minister Datin Seri Rosmah Mansur arrested on corruption charges. Yep. We also have 2020, the UK's wettest day on record, with average of 31.7 millimeters or 1.24 inches across the country in wake of Storm Alex. Storm Alex. 2021, MLB Cleveland. I'm sorry, I can't get over the name. So, I made the UK extremely moist. 2021, MLB Cleveland won their last game under the Indians' name, defeating the Texas Rangers 6-0. 2021 as well, MLB Philadelphia Phillies relief pitcher Hector Neris struck out 3 Florida Marlins, setting new franchise record of 520 in his last game before becoming a free agent. The Pandora Papers investigation revealed secret wealth of 30 current and former world leaders, including Jordan's King Abdullah II, Czech Prime Minister Andrej Babis, and former UK Prime Minister Tony Blair. That's a name I recognize. Yeah, people gotta look more into this. 2021 as well, record rainfall in Europe with when 36 inches or 925 millimeters of rain began falling in northern Italian town of Rossellon. Does it have anything to do with Storm Alex? No, that was a year later. Oh well. 2021, Tampa Bay Buccaneers quarterback Tom Brady became the NFL's all-time leader in career passing yardage in the 19-17 win versus New England Patriots at the Gillette Stadium. Brady 22-43 for 269 yards to pass Drew Brees' high of 80,358. All right, whoop-de-doo. Bomb Trady. Great old deflator. And then just this time last year, Nobel Prize for Physiology or Medicine awarded to Savet Pabo for discoveries concerning the genomes of extinct hominins and human evolution, including sequencing genome of the Neanderthal. Alright. And that shall conclude the show. Once again, please check the under bar of the description for any links you may be interested in, including but not limited to all things Omni Coalition. Our link tree contains, links to our other video sharing streaming sites, social medias, affiliates, and all that stuff, yada yada. We'll also be adding in all these, links we've collected throughout the show after the stream, as I said. And don't mind this. Apparently, I had worked last year, so this was the script last year. For your dose of passive events daily, we stream every day at 11 in the morning Pacific time, which is 12 Mountain, 1 Central, and 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, respectively. For all of you and all of us, I am Xander, and you are you. Until you catch us on Friday, or if you're interested in notable events, whether in sports, there you go, I'm cracking again. A news show that might be coming up today at 3 p.m. if there's enough articles to make a show. Otherwise, we will be doing that on Friday. So until you see us again, whenever it is, wherever that is, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe. Toodles!